Hey, Eric, how are you? I'm so excited to have you here on the show with us today.
Thanks for having me, Rashid. This is awesome. Monday, I'm ready to roll. This is great. I've been inside for like 6 months. This is awesome. Love it.
You are always such a joy to talk to. I'm so excited to get you to share the valuable information you have inside of that brain. It is like super, super timely with all that's going on right now. So first of all, since I have you and your wealth of information, let's tell the public who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm an expert in the reverse mortgage program. I live it, I breathe it. I've been doing it I've been in the mortgage business for almost 25 years, I guess it is, exclusively reverses for the last 15 years. So I help seniors out, people living in their homes that want to use the equity in their house to stay there. There are tons and tons of misconceptions tied to how this program works. So really, to be honest with you, I kind of run around from place to place when running around was still a thing to do. I run around from place to place, just putting out fires, trying to tell people, hey, this is true, this is fact, this is fiction, tons of misconceptions, but I'm an expert in the reverse mortgage program.
Yes, you are. I remember the first time we met, I was just like, wow, you answered a ton of questions for me. And so I just thought to myself, like, since then, you're always my go-to when it comes to reverse mortgages. And whenever someone asks, I'm like, all right, I know exactly who to put you in contact with. So let me just ask, why is it important? Why is that? Why is a reverse mortgage important?
Well, the main thing, Rashida, is it's one of those things I'll hear from my clients and I'll ask them when I talk to them, because again, there's so many misconceptions, and I'll talk to my clients and be like, oh, that sounds great, Eric, sounds wonderful, but I'm not going to do it. I heard they're bad. And I'll say, okay, well, not to get too pushy or whatever, but who told you they're bad? Like, can you tell me? And they'll be like, I hear this all the time. They'll be like, well, I don't really know. I'm not sure who told me. You know what? I know who told me. I was getting my hair done last week and the shampoo lady told me. She knows somebody who knows somebody who knew somebody, said, don't ever do it. That's what I hear. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I get it. You trust your shampoo girl. That's wonderful. And she probably has the best of intentions. But the key is, if you're not an expert in how this works, or if you're not a specialist in it, there's a lot of information. It's scary. It's somebody's house. That's normally their biggest asset. It's scary if you've only heard people talk about how horrible they are. They're safe FHA insured loans that give seniors the ability to remain in their house, to eliminate their mortgage payment, to get cash out, to do home improvements, to pay for medication, to get health insurance, to fix their car, to do dental work. These are all things my clients want to do with a very, very safe FHA insured product.
Look at you already answering big questions. You answered two questions, because that was going to be, why do reverse mortgages get such a bad rap? And I know that was one of the things that I, had come in and asked you about, because I was dealing with a client at a time who we had a property, and they were actually basically they inherited the property from an aunt who had passed away. And then there was all this turmoil in terms of getting it free and this and that. And you had explained to me that there's like a period of time where you can respond. And those are key moments. There are lots of things that many of us miss. So if you could just kind of enlighten us on like a quick story on how a reverse mortgage can go kind of sideways, or where this perception of bad comes from.
Everything boils down to misconceptions, Rashid. That's what it all boils down to. And I do when I deliver my programs, I have an hour and a half, a 2 hour and a 3 hour program that I deliver for financial planners, accountants, attorneys, real estate agents. It's amazing to me, because I can't tell you how many programs I've done where I finish up and there's literally a long line of people waiting. And when I first started happening, I was like, they're waiting to say hi to me, to shake my hand. And then it ends up that a lot of them are waiting in line to apologize to me. And I'm like, I started to realize this. They started apologizing, saying, Eric, I never knew. Like, I never knew that this was how the program worked. And I would say, well, why would you say bad things if you didn't understand? Why wouldn't you research it? That all being said, there are lots of misconceptions about it. The most important, the main thing I hear, and the biggest misconception I hear, is that these reverse mortgages can really get you into lots of trouble. And it's not accurate. I mean, any more so than a regular type loan. The key with this is there are no monthly payments. They're deferred. It's a negatively amortizing loan. So interest is being deferred to the end of the loan. So if you wanted to take it and compare it to a regular forward type mortgage, with a forward mortgage, you don't make the payment, you get foreclosed on. At least with the reverse mortgage, you have no monthly payments, and there are protections in place. All FHA loans have what's called a non-recourse clause. Non-recourse means at the end of the loan, which is when the last person permanently vacates the property, which is normally death. I hate to be morbid about it. My clients do this. They normally stay there for the rest of their lives. When that last person vacates the property, the heirs have no liability. So if there's $100,000 owed on the reverse mortgage and it's worth $400,000, the heirs sell the property, pay off the 100 that's owed. They walk away with all the remaining equity. The bank doesn't have any equity. They don't own the property. The title remains in the person's name.
Right.
On the flip side of the coin, where non-recourse comes in the event somebody does this, they live there a long time, they draw all their money, they maybe the values were inflated when they did it, like we had back in the mid 2000s, whatever. But if they live there a very long time, and it ever gets to a point where the balance owed exceeds the value. So if that borrower's upside down, the heirs have no liability. With non-recourse, the heirs literally sign a deed in lieu of foreclosure that gives it back to the lender. They walk away with no liability, nothing negative against their credit, no deficiency judgments, nothing against their estate. Same thing for the borrower when they're alive. If they're upside down, they want to walk away when they're alive. Deed in lieu of foreclosure, here you go. If they're upside down, they can have $1 million in the bank. FHA can't come after any of that. That's non-recourse.
That's awesome. That's such good information to know. I know lots of people, that's one of those things that's going to blow their mind, just the same way it blew mine. So having said that, what are some of the financial tools, including reverse mortgage, that could help alleviate the pressure on people today? I think you just mentioned it, like it can help people pay for medicine and this and that. And in the case of today's COVID-19 world, where you have a lot of people living in facilities who may be looking to be out or maybe get into a facility that's not having as many challenges, how can someone use their home to finance that next step in their future?
What's critically important here, Rashida, is the one word, as far as anybody looking into a reverse mortgage or considering it, is the number one thing is suitability. Yeah. So my client calls me, the very first thing I'm doing is this loan suitable for you? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you want to be here? Do you want to move? There's a reverse mortgage for purchase program for my clients who don't want to stay in their house. They can actually use the reverse mortgage, but to purchase a new home. Yeah. So in that case, we put their house up for sale. The agent puts their house up for sale. They sell it. We take the proceeds from that and we use it as down payment on a new property. That's called a HECM for purchase program. But it all comes down to suitability. If my client wants to be there for the long term, then we view this as, okay, what are your needs? Is there a need? Okay, so the vast majority of my clients, not just my clients, reverse mortgage clients in general, yeah, the vast majority of them have mortgages currently on their property. Okay. The number one most common thing I get from my clients when they call me, Eric, I have a mortgage on my property. The payments just get me. It's tough. I'm making it. I'm okay, but it's just tough. Can you get rid of my mortgage payment? That is the number one thing my clients call me with is, please get rid of my payment. Because the reverse mortgage pays off existing loans. There has to be enough equity to satisfy that loan. Lots of people think you have to own your house free and clear, which is not accurate. About over 80% have mortgages currently.
Wow. See, again, blowing my mind. And I know you're blowing our public's mind. And I know that for that reason, you are like the go-to. You can be seen on TV. You can be seen on news stations giving out plenty of this information, podcasts, like a number of places, because you are the reverse mortgage guy. And you are also big on mental toughness. That's a whole nother avenue that I would love to get into with you one of these days, if you would let us borrow your time.
I would love to, Rashida. That's what I do a lot of. I've been doing lots of media on that. I speak on mental toughness and emotional intelligence, and especially with what's happening right now with the whole shutdown thing. It's all about emotional control and realizing what we can control and things we cannot control, and how to stay focused on our mindset and how we respond to situations. That's what I train sales teams on normally. Aside from COVID, it was training sales teams on how to be what I call a world-class thinker, which means a different level of thought process. So yeah, that's been great for me. And it's all a combination. It's everything all together. It's a scary time for everybody, regardless if you're a senior looking at a reverse mortgage or someone who's on their first job out of college who's looking to pay their rent. It's scary for everybody. It's all about how we respond to it and what tools are available to us. For seniors, having access to this loan can get rid of the outgoing expense of the mortgage, obviously, but also free up cash that they can access at any time with no monthly payment associated with it. That's what's most important.
Look at that. Look at that. That sounds amazing. See, it's a team effort. So I'm glad to have resources like yourself to be able to bring our clients and the public here. So I'm going to let you get back to doing what you do best, which is rescuing people, either mentally or financially. Thank you.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
I really appreciate it. I mean, I always get so much out of our conversations.
Rashida, I'm right back to you. Thank you for the opportunity to come on and talk to everybody. And if you have questions, your viewers have questions, whatever, I can answer anything you need to know about this program. I promise you. It might not be the best information. You might like to hear it or whatever, but I promise you, I don't know if there's a walking person alive that knows more about this program than me. I just live it and breathe it. So I'd love to help anybody, even if it's something that they might do 10 years from now, or whatever, if they have an aunt who has one they don't fully understand, or a neighbor who they're looking for more information and already has one, whatever, I'd love to be a resource. So please keep that in mind too.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric. Have a great day.
Thanks for having me,
Bye.
Rashida. Bye-bye.
Absolutely.